Hello and welcome to the Forces Sports Show, your weekly roundup of the best action and biggest stories from across the services, coming up in the next half hour. Battle to the finish, a stern test of the inter-services triathlon. Up for the cup, the REME become champions of Army Rugby League. Taking on the pros, the UK Armed Forces cricketers go up against Hampshire. We start with the inter-services triathlon. The Army have won both the men's and women's team events at this year's competition, which was celebrating its 30th anniversary. But there were also some impressive individual performances too. Kath Brazier reports from South Cerney.
Luke Pollard crossing the line in first place. It's becoming a familiar sight at this level. And as he did so, the four fingers to signify 4 wins in 4 years. He's closing in on Charlie Pennington's 5-year record over the Olympic distance.
Like I said, I think he's an incredible inspiration to not only myself but everyone else who seem to aspire to. So yeah, let's go for it.
It's somehow fitting that on this anniversary of the Inter-Services Triathlon that this airman should be getting so close to a milestone, but the men's race was never really in doubt. An RAF 1-2 out of the water saw Pollard and Ben Terry start the cycle together. But with a 57-minute ride, by the second transition, Luke's lead was over 3 minutes. He was tracked down by the Army's Harry Eaton on the run, 3 loops of the Cotswold Water Park Lake. But neither Eaton or Terry could catch up, and they came in second and third respectively. Pollard's winning time, 1 hour, 52 minutes and 26 seconds.
I've been racing all around Europe, the European Cup on the elite scene. I just recently did a half Ironman, which I was quite happy with, and I think it's something that I might want to move into in the future.
In the women's race, the eventual winner wasn't even near the lead group following the 1500-metre swim. Instead, it was Samantha Rose who entered transition first, a quick turnaround for the 40k bike. But a relative newcomer to the triathlon, Rosie Wild, not only caught up on the road, she nailed the 10k run and came in first in a time of 2 hours, 14 minutes and 59 seconds. 40 seconds ahead of her Army teammate Hannah Lyons, Rose another minute and 14 seconds later.
I came out quite late on the swim and I knew I was playing catch up for most of the race. And then on the run I had no idea how many girls were in front of me until I met my teammate on the last lap. And I said, "Oh, what are you coming?" She said, first. And so we started running together, and then we were arguing over who was going to run with who. And I said, "You go." She said, "You go." But I prefer running, she prefers swimming. Okay. So that's when we sort of split off, yeah.
It was a close call then in the team events. The RAF men may have come in first, third and 10th, but the Army's strength and depth filled 7 of the top 10 places. The women's race was more evenly spread, but the overall time still favoured the ladies in red.
The REME have been crowned the Army's Rugby League champions for 2018. They edged a 12-try thriller against the Royal Engineers to lift the Lawson Cup at Aldershot. The REME winning by a narrow margin of 32 points to 30. The summer heatwave meant the pitch at the Army Rugby Stadium had been tindered dry and rigid as rock underfoot in the build-up to this clash, but a concerted effort from ground staff contributed to it raining tries in this year's final. There was little give in the REME defence either, typified by Colin Mackenzie's hit on Gavin Nicholl from the Royal Engineers. Nicholl did well to get to his feet, but was ushered to the touchline for a routine once-over. With play underway once more, and now on the front foot, the REME went in for the opening try. Skipper Jamie Lang crossed at the corner for an unconverted score. Having been up against it for the opening minutes of the match, the Engineers hit back. A scorching run from Sappers winger Tom Lloyd concluded with a converted try and a 6-4 lead. Lloyd had added a second try to extend the Engineers' advantage before the REME roared back. Peter Holmes was hauled down short of the line, but teammate Araya Vasulala was on hand to crash over for an unconverted try. It was turning into an enthralling encounter, and 2 more tries were scored before the break. The REME struck first, attacking deep into Sapper territory. Nashville Ram blasted his way through the defence to re-establish the lead. However, the Sappers once again muscled their way back in front. Precision passing and powerful play put them on the REME line. 2 phases later, and Ernest Pettuelli buried his way over, and the engineers took a 16-14 half-time advantage. Having missed out on a try in the first half, this scoring opportunity was elementary for Holmes. Having burst free, he went under the post for a converted score and a 4-point lead. The REME followed that with another try soon after. This time, fullback Jafiti Vakalakaberry displayed his finishing instincts to ground the ball despite the close attention of his opposite number. Well, you write this Royal Engineers side off at your peril, and Pettuelli cantered in for his second try to cut the deficit to 24-20. The drama continued. Vakalakaberry smashed a path to the try line as the REME looked to put the game beyond their rivals. Lang then added a late penalty as the REME stretched the lead to 32 points to 20. Beaten finalists last season, the engineers weren't going to go down without a fight. Pettuelli went over for his hat-trick of tries. That made it 32-24 with just 4 minutes to play. Could the engineers keep the momentum and record a famous victory? They piled forward and with Mark Kappa's effort set up a frantic final minute. Trailing by just 2 points, they were still in possession at the final hooter. However, a fumble saw them crumble, and it was the REME who jumped for joy. Afterwards, an exhausted skipper paid tribute to his victorious side.
Well, it means everything. I think we've all the sweat, blood, tears, the grafting and off the pitch, in the back lines. Everybody's really come together, really wanted it this year. I think it's made a difference.
Yeah, of course, the 13 guys that started on the pitch, it's not just down to them, it's behind everybody as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. We focus on one team, so everybody gets to train in. We're not only as good as the guys you train against, so that's what we work hard on most.
A happy result for the REME as they lift the Lawson Cup for 2018. The UK Armed Forces motorsports team have been showing off their talents at the annual Goodwood Festival of Speed. The team's white Land Rovers are a regular fixture at the event, but this year the team have had longer to enjoy it. John Knighton has more.
The Goodwood Festival of Speed attracts hundreds of thousands of spectators every year to the Earl of Richmond's country estate, where the whole history of motor racing can be enjoyed in one place. This is the 5th year the Armed Forces Rally team has been invited. They've been competing in the Forest Special Stage, timed against state-of-the-art rally cars.
We actually getting the chance to actually rally like everybody else, like the rest of the Formula One, or the rest of the WRC guys, in front of tens of thousands of people. It's unbelievable, obviously, the chance of actually getting to do this here. It's nice to actually know the club be actually giving everybody the opportunity to do this here, because it's not everybody gets a chance to do this.
Cars this weekend have been a little bit prepped differently. We've removed all the spotlights and that off the front bumpers, mainly because the drivers do have a habit of hitting hay bales, and we don't really want to smash up a nice set of lights. Other than that, we've had a track rod end from one of the drivers, because I'm guessing he clipped either a tree stump or a rock out there. Other than that, we've been quite quiet.
There's huge respect for what the Armed Forces Rally team achieves in its ageing white Land Rovers.
To be invited back 5 times is showing the mark that we're making, and the fact that we've become part of the establishment here, which is really rather heartwarming.
This year, perhaps more than any other, the team has been able to enjoy other parts of the festival.
We've got boys going out on the stage, we're mingling with champions, current and ex, we're seeing some of the best cars in the world. It's just, the experience is incredible. We don't feel like we should be here. We've got every right to be here. We've been invited, but we just feel a bit out of our depth. It's absolutely incredible. I love it. It's one of my favourite weeks of the year, and I can't wait to go out and see some more.
Next on the schedule for the team is the Bovington Stages Rally next month. John Knighton, Forces News.
The Inter-Services Tennis Championships are taking place at Edgbaston this week. The Army have been boosted with the return of men's number 1 and team captain Ben Rogers. Royal Artillery officer Ben Rogers has returned to the court after missing last year's Inter-Services campaign due to deployment. The recent Army Inter-Corps Championship gave the Army number 1 further opportunity to sharpen his skills. Rogers believes he's back to his best and raring to face the Royal Navy and Air Force at Edgbaston.
Personally, I've been playing quite a few tournaments, been getting the results I wanted, and hopefully, just looking forward to peak in the next couple of weeks at the Champs.
As you say, you've got those 3 days at Edgbaston. They will be crucial just to get you up to speed playing on grass, obviously a world away from here in Aldershot.
Yeah, absolutely. Grass is a tricky one. It's a little bit easy on the body, but yeah, serve and returns are much more important on grass. So yeah, we'll be just looking to fine-tune a few things in the squad prior to the Champs. Yeah.
Do you feel there's a little bit of pressure on you because of the fact that, you know, there is so much more expectation on you coming back?
There is pressure on me, yeah, but to be honest, I quite enjoy the pressure, and I quite like that pressure of you know, being team captain and playing at the top. It's what I want to do, and you know, when I don't enjoy the pressure, I'll step down as captain and step down playing.
Yeah. And a tournament like this, Inter-Corps, is valuable for you because you can see what talent is out there and sort of encourage it to come forward and get involved either in the B Championships or maybe one day the A Championships.
That's right, yeah. Court tennis is the spinal cord of Army tennis, really, and we've found so many players over the years that have just rocked up here and you've never known they've existed. So yeah, I've got my eye out today of some last-minute squad additions.
Well, good for you. One thing we should mention is, of course, the women, they're going well. Chloe Pike, of course, who is a fantastic Army player.
Yeah, that's right. Chloe's been a great addition over the last few years. She's, you know, clearly Inter-Services number 1. She's a great addition to the Army team, and I don't think they'll have many problems this year with the team the girls got.
After 2 seasons in the Midlands, the Inter-Services Championship is due to return to the home of tennis, SW19, next summer. To cricket, and the UK Armed Forces team have lost their final outing of the summer. They were beaten by Hampshire in a T20 clash at the Ageas Bowl, the UCAF team losing by 65 runs. The UK Armed Forces' short 4-game season came to a close with this fixture on the south coast. Under cloudless skies, Hampshire won the toss and put the military men into field first. However, Hampshire may have thought they'd made a mistake when Royal Navy man John Parker dismissed Calvin Dickinson early on. Connor Reid taking the catch behind the timbers with the county side 20 for 1. Out to the middle strode Zimbabwean international Sean Irvine, capped 47 times by his country, including 5 test matches. Parker is a veteran of Navy cricket, and the wily campaigner saw off his illustrious opponent's second ball. Irvine, who made his test debut at Lord's, skied a catch into the clutches of Tom Shorthouse to make the score 20 for 2. Not long afterwards, Parker claimed a third Hampshire victim. Tom Alsop cracked the ball hard, but only as far as UCAF skipper Adam Fisher, who took the catch. Hampshire recovered from losing those early wickets as former England under-19 captain Joe Weatherly took on the UCAF bowlers. Weatherly made the most of the short boundary to strike successive sixes. By now, fellow batsman Ian Holland was going well and the score raced along. The pair had put on 132 runs by the time John Boynton bagged Weatherly's wicket. He was caught by Parker for 65, with the score 171 for 4. Holland had a further flourish. Anybody and everybody was in the Australians' firing line. UCAF kept plugging away as Hants lost 4 more wickets, adding just 30 runs. Gareth Berg holed out to Tade Carmichael from Ross Dearden's bowling. And Dearden eventually saw off Holland LBW, the danger man departing, having scored 87 from just 43 balls, including 11 boundaries. By the end, Hampshire had amassed a hefty 202 for 8 from their 20 overs, a good score and one that would challenge the Forces outfit. In reply, UCAF looked composed, and with Reid flicking the ball to the boundary, hopes were high. Unfortunately, he was on his way next ball, out LBW to Gareth Berg. 2020 is an impatient format of cricket, not allowing players to settle at the crease. Carmichael's short innings concluded when he was caught by Irvine from Ajit Dale's bowling, and UCAF were now 36 for 2. Shorthouse didn't linger much longer as Dale took a second scalp and Hampshire took control. UCAF skipper Fisher gave a glimpse of his range of shots in his innings. He made sure his side didn't entirely fall away in the run chase. Fisher's effort, the standout display with the bat as he reached his 50, flicking the ball off his toes to register a well-crafted half-century. But when he went for 58, UCAF drifted to defeat, well beaten by the professional side. Despite this result, the skipper was upbeat and proud of his side's display.
It's been a good season. We've competed really well. We've got some good wins. We come here knowing that these guys are going to be a very good side. There's a lot of them that you see on the telly playing in the T20 Blast with a lot of experience. So I'm not saying that we expected to lose, but you turn up and you realise that you're playing against a good side. So.
The UCAF season may be over, but there's more Forces action to come, not least the Inter-Services Championship next month. With just 3 months to go until the Invictus Games in Sydney, training across the 11 sports is stepping up. The 13 rowers selected to represent Team UK have been put through their paces by British Rowing in Colchester. Kath has more.
Martin Tighe powered to a rowing gold at the Toronto Games last September. It was one of 6 medals he won.
I didn't have any expectations of getting picked, so obviously when I was picked I was over the moon. And yeah, I just want to get out there, enjoy myself. I've been loving the whole experience again. It's nice to be around the guys and have that bonding. Invictus is amazing. I will not find this experience anywhere else in the world in any other sport.
Seated next to Martin at the Corporal Budd VC gym was Invictus newbie Rachel Williamson. A former REF rugby player, Rachel competed for the Light Blues in the Inter-Services from 2012 to 2014. As a teenager, she narrowly missed out on a place at the Commonwealth Games as a swimmer. She's here because she injured her right arm on the sports field. She was only medically discharged in February this year and had almost given up on sport. But Down Under should be competing on the ergo and in the pool.
This has all happened at the perfect time. Actually applying for Invictus was before I officially left, but I knew I was leaving. So whether I was selected or not, it was still a new social side, getting through into a new routine, trying to forget what's happened but accept it at the same time. And yeah, for me, obviously being selected it's just helped me transition, helped me sort of move on and try not to be stuck at home all the time. You know, it gets you out the house.
Rowing is really popular amongst the Invictus family, and the tension it creates makes it a very exciting and a very loud event. Hannah Lawson is the talent ID coach for the GB Paralympic programme and has been the lead Invictus rowing coach since the Games began.
It's a really demanding sport, and I think people don't necessarily realise that, and equally it's a really technical sport. And a lot of the guys will come in and they'll be like, oh yeah, I've rowed before, and then all of a sudden you'll put on the rowing machine and be like, I need to change that completely. So yeah, it's a really demanding sport, and I think especially for the guys that are in chairs as well, it's really good because it opens them up. They're not used to opening their shoulders up, they're constantly rolled forward, pushing chairs, and so yeah, it's really good. All-round body fitness and something that anybody can do, like regardless of an impairment. We've got triple amputees that are rowing on a rowing machine, that just isn't something that you see on a regular basis, so it is kind of a really good sport to just get involved with.
The rowing competition comes near the start of the Invictus programme, so a chance for some early medals. And if this lot have anything to do with it, they'll be coming the way of UK.
And that is it for this week. Don't forget you can see all the action as we get it on forces.net and this show and more on YouTube. We'll leave you with highlights from the Goodwood Festival of Speed. See you next time.